Hello, so today's video is going to be a book review of Delicate Condition by Daniela Valentine. And yeah, I literally just finished this book yesterday and I thought I would give it a review. So I have a stack of books I'm planning on reading and then unhauling. Not because I think I would dislike them or anything, but again, just because I've said, like in previous videos, I'm trying to condense my collection because I have just far too many books all over my flat. So this was one of those books where I think I was quite excited when I first saw it, but then it was kind of one that I looked at and I thought, well, it's probably one that I'm going to read but not keep. But yeah, now I'm kind of in two minds about it. So Delicate Condition is about a woman who desperately wants to have a child, and her and a partner are going through IVF, and you know, she's really struggling with it. She's having some hard feelings, and then, you know, things seem like they're going well and she falls pregnant, but then yeah, really weird stuff starts to happen. And I would say this book is a horror book which is kind of a psychological horror. It's also body horror. And yeah, it's a bit of a mystery because she feels like somebody is trying to sabotage her pregnancy. But throughout the book, you're not sure if it's like, is somebody actually trying to sabotage her pregnancy? Like, why would somebody do that? Like, what's happening? Or is this just psychological? Like, is it in her head? Is she overreacting? And you like her as a main character and you really want to believe her, but there are lots of people throughout the story that they basically don't believe her and they think she's being crazy and paranoid and all these kinds of things. So yeah, and it was an interesting book. I think I kind of got absorbed into this book because as I was reading it, obviously it's a book about pregnancy. You're following her throughout her pregnancy and the difficulties she's having and all the horrible stuff that's happening to her, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. And I read this whilst being 6 months pregnant, so that was interesting. I picked it up and I read the first few chapters and I was like, should I be reading this whilst I'm pregnant? But actually I did get quite absorbed into it. Because like I said, you do like the main character, you are rooting for her, you want her to be okay, you want to find out what's going on, you know, why what is happening to her, is everything going to be okay? And yeah, it was actually ended up being a pretty good book. I would probably give this a 4-star. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. It took me like 2 days to read, which for me is quite good because how many pages is this? It's like 400 pages, just over 400 pages, and I'm not a fast reader normally, so for me to continuously read oh, sorry about that. I've got a bit of a cold. Woke up today with a sore throat. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, ignore that. But yeah, for me to continuously read for 2 days straight, I have to really be into the story. And yeah, I really did enjoy it. Like I said, I would give it a 4-star. I feel like if you're super sensitive to pregnancy related stuff, or if you get triggered around difficult topics relating to pregnancy such as miscarriages and stuff like that, this might not be the one for you. Or, you know, if you're pregnant and you feel like you could be triggered by reading a horror story around pregnancy, this might not be for you. But like I said, I'm pregnant and I read it and I was fine. I found it quite interesting. So yeah, this did surprise me a little bit. I liked it a lot more than what I thought I would. Like I said, it was quite tense. It had a lot of relatable topics about being pregnant and how you can sometimes be fobbed off by medical professionals, and you know, it has topics on women and like how they're treated for pain and how sometimes doctors don't believe them, or even partners don't believe them. They just get fobbed off as being like thought of as a hysterical woman, when actually you're like actually know something is wrong, and like, you know your own body but people don't believe you. There's commentary on sexism in this book. There's also commentary on racism in this book, about how there are differences between how women, like white women, are being treated while pregnant versus black women whilst being pregnant. But it wasn't like shoved down your throat, like it wasn't too heavy, because normally when I read stories I don't like to have, you know, like political kind of statements in books, because, you know, I read books to kind of get away from the real world. But I felt like it was done in a pretty nice way, where it was just here and there and you're like, yeah, I can see that, and yeah, I can relate to that, and that kind of stuff. So I actually feel like it was done pretty well in this book. It commented on it, but not made to feel like it was too much, you know, like it wasn't the main point of the book, but it was in there, and I appreciated that. And yeah, so yeah, overall I would actually recommend this book. It's still unfortunately going to be in my haul pile, just because I don't see myself rereading it anytime soon, but I am glad I read it and I would recommend it. So yeah, it ended up being a pretty good read in the end. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Delicate Condition. Leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you heard of this? Are you interested in reading it? So yeah, if you're into like pregnancy kind of body psychological horror, then maybe look into this book. I also really like the cover. I don't know what it is about like neon green on a black like background. I just really like. I just find it really pleasing. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye guys.